Hi everyone, this is Shambhavi, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to become the best version of yourself. And it's not easy only for the people who do not recognize the blockages that come between them and their best version. So, if in case you're not able to recognize what is stopping you from being the best version of yourself, then this video is definitely for you, and I really hope that this video can help you get a little bit closer to being the best version of yourself. Chapter number 1. So, the first chapter, we're basically going to focus on how to change your perception of the way you look at others and the way you look at yourself. Now, obviously, your current perception of yourself and of the external world is very different from what the perception of your higher self, of yourself, and like the external world would be, right? And you need to change that because that is literally the first thing that comes into changing, because your mindset shapes your lifestyle. This is so important. And your current perception is most probably you being stuck in an endless loop of victim mindset. I know. You probably don't even recognize, like you don't even realize this, that you've been doing all of this, like that you've been victimizing yourself this entire time. You don't recognize that into your behavior patterns, and you cannot tell that, oh, I am victimizing myself even though I'm not the victim. Hear me out. Please, for the love of God, drop it. Drop being the victim. It's not funny. It's not fun. Literally, nobody's gonna look at you and be like, oh, that poor soul, I feel bad for them. No. It's gonna be like, they're literally gonna provide you with like maybe 2 seconds of sympathy and walk the fuck off. This is literally what they're going to do. And you don't need their sympathy. That's the first thing you need to know. You are not the victim. Life is harsh on everyone. You are not the only one. You're not special. Life is not going to be hard on just you. And you need to realize that. And there's literally no like nice way of saying this. And it had to be broken to you. Like you had to, know this. That, oh my God, I am not the center of everything that goes on. Not everybody is interested in what bad is happening in my life. And I need to stop presenting myself as some poor soul who's helpless. Because you're not. You're literally not. Next up, start prioritizing yourself over other people. Okay, hear me out. How many times have you seen yourself? How many times have you caught yourself prioritizing the needs, wants, and like the likes and dislikes of other people over yourself? Trust me, you need to drop that. And I'll tell you why. Because other people don't look at you and consider what you're going through before themselves. They don't look at you and think that, oh, maybe I should be considerate of her because she's always considerate of me. And maybe I should, prioritize her over me. They don't do that. You need to stop placing other people on pedestals because they're not there. Like, they're literally not worth it. Everybody, I'm not saying they're not as good as you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying everybody is on the same level as each other. Stop placing yourself on a pedestal and stop placing other people on a pedestal. View everybody else as equal to you. Okay? And the only thing that is stopping you from achieving what they're achieving, from being their best versions of themselves, and you're not able to do that, the only thing that's stopping you is your mindset. Because you view everything else around you as more important than you. You view everything as more important than yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you want to become your higher self, you need to understand that your higher self would definitely not sacrifice her own peace, her own likes, her own dislikes, whatever, over just to please other people. She would not do that. Okay? And you need to prioritize yourself. You need to understand the importance of yourself, because if you don't value yourself first, nobody else is going to value you. It starts from yourself, it starts from within. Chapter number 2. You need to create an image of your ideal self. Now, you need to go into the details. Do everything that you need to do. Everything. Note down everything that she does. Note down everything that your higher version of yourself would do. Okay, now that can be going into detail on the way she walks, the way she treats other people, the way she treats herself, the way she talks to other people. Literally everything. the way she lives, what her routine is, how she thinks, how much water she drinks, even like small things like that, you need to like add that into the description of your ideal self. Okay, and you need to like create a very like detailed descriptive image of who she is and what she does and what her mindset is, what kind of people she hangs out with, what the way she deals with haters, the way she deals with other people who throw shade on her, and all of that. Everything. When I say everything, literally go down to the minute, like the time she wakes up. If you currently wake up at 7 a.m., then be like, and if you want your ideal self to have like a lot of time before going to school or before going to work or college or whatever, and you need to wake up earlier, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna set an alarm up for 5 o'clock or 5:30, whatever. You're gonna wake up earlier to give your ideal self time to step into the role. Give yourself time to step into the role of being your ideal self. And if like she wakes up at, just think about this. Your ideal self, according to you, let's imagine, wakes up at 5 o'clock, like works out, drinks a lot of water, and like probably practices like affirmations before she starts getting ready for work or whatever, right? You need to do all of that. You need to step into that. You need to create an ideal version of yourself. And when I say you need to step into that, what I'm basically saying is when you create an ideal image of your like higher self, of your best version, you need to know that your like this entire work, everything that you did, you maybe spent like an hour or 2 hours going down like to the detail and noting down everything that your higher self would do. All of this is just the base. All of this is just the foundation of what you're gonna build. Like you're gonna build your ideal self up, right? And everything that you just did, which is creating an ideal self, an image of your ideal self, that is just a base. That is just a foundation. And now we're gonna move to chapter number 3. So chapter number 3 is mostly about removing blockages. Okay, now that includes everything, like your subconscious beliefs and all of that. Okay, now the reason why you're not able to step into being your ideal self, into being your higher self, into being the best version of yourself, the reason behind it is your subconscious beliefs. Now even if you're like, oh, I want to be her, I want to do this, subconsciously, if your mind is not ready to be her, and your mind is not ready to like step into being this person or being this ideal self, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to wake up at 5 a.m. You're not going to be able to follow a routine because of your subconscious self. Because your subconscious self keeps telling you that, oh, I failed multiple times before when I tried to do this. What makes you think you're going to succeed this time? This is literally what happens, and this is literally what blocks all of the things, all of the great things that can happen to you. You need to change your belief. You need to change your belief system, and you need to change what it surrounds around. Like right now, like I mentioned, the victim mindset. Right now, your entire subconscious system, or like your entire belief system, surrounds around the fact that you are a victim. Please give it up. Please just give it up. And once that happens, once it's surrounded against such a negative thought of yourself, you're not going to be able to, change it easily. And you're not going to be able to step into being the best version of yourself. Now, if you're someone who has negative beliefs about themselves and you struggle with changing that and struggle with changing your subconscious beliefs, then I'm going to suggest working with affirmations and subliminals. So what you're going to do, and like this is like really important. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat positive affirmations that align with your higher self, and you're going to repeat these affirmations every day, like in front of the mirror, like multiple times. Okay, and you're going to say it like maybe 3 times a day. Okay, once you wake up, and then once you come back from work, maybe, and then like before you're going to go to bed. Okay, and while you're going to bed, okay, while you're going to bed, you're like in bed, you're like tucked in, and but you're not asleep yet. What you're going to do is you're constantly going to visualize being your higher self already. You're going to tell yourself that I am already her. I am, the best version of myself. I do this, like describe your best version, the image that you formed beforehand. You're going to use that image to visualize how she walks, how she talks, and everything that she does, okay? And you're supposed to do that every day before you go to bed. So now, how does that work? That's something you might think, right? You're going to be like, how is visualizing going to help? So when you visualize something before you go to bed, it immediately steps into your subconscious mind, because when you're sleeping, your subconscious is the most active part of your brain. Okay, your subconscious of your mind, the subconscious of your mind is like projecting your dreams. That is what your dreams are. Your dreams are literally a bunch of subconscious thoughts that are projected, okay? And when you visualize like positive things, when you visualize things like your higher self and how she's going to be, your subconscious will start putting that into your dreams. Okay, not only will it put it in your dreams, it's also going to project that in your daily behavior. And that is exactly what we want. We want positive behavior, and we want positive like thoughts and like overall habits to be projected in our everyday behavior, right? So that is one important step. On top of that, what you can do is you can listen to subliminals. Now you can listen to this even when you're like working or when you're going to bed. Like, you can just play calm subliminals and like go to bed, and it's going to again step into your subconscious mind, change your beliefs. And it's not going to change your beliefs overnight. That's not going to happen. What it's going to do, however, is gradually change your thought patterns and gradually change the way you project like your beliefs into your life, okay? Because if you've had negative beliefs all this long, you're going to project it in a negative way. You're going to treat other people badly. But when your subconscious mind gets like a refreshment, it's sort of going to project the positive part into your life, and you're going to start like treating other things, other people differently. You're going to start viewing everything differently, right? So that is basically what affirmations and subliminals actually do. They're going to help you rewire your subconscious mind. Chapter number 4 of this video mostly focuses on stepping into that reality. So, like in the previous chapters of this video, what we've done is we've changed our mindset. We've worked on changing our mindset. We've worked on creating an image of our ideal self. And we have worked on improving like the belief system that we have and improving the way we perceive ourselves and the world, right? We worked on all of that. So how do we actually step into this reality? How do we actually step into this reality where we're our highest selves, right? What you're going to do, like you remember the ideal image that you've created of your higher self, right? You're going to use that and you're going to start showing up like that. Like if your higher self wakes up 2 hours before you normally do, you're going to do that. And you're going to be consistent. It's going to take some time, definitely, to get used to it, but you're just going to implement like one habit per week. So for example, if your higher version wakes up at, let's say, 5 o'clock and you normally wake up at 7, right? What you're going to do is, for week 1 of the new month, let's say you start doing all of this work in May, okay? So the first week of May, what you're going to do is you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. And then in the second week of May, you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. And let's take another like skill that you've probably put into your ideal image, which is being assertive. Like you're probably going to think that my higher self knows how to say no. She knows how to stand up for herself. So in the week 2, in the second week of May, you're going to wake up early, and then on top of that, you're also going to stand up for yourself if needed throughout that week. And then in the third week, you're going to build up the habit. So basically what you're going to do is you start by one habit and then you add the other habits on top of it every week, and you continue to practice all of it at the same time. And slowly, gradually, you will step into the highest version of yourself. And it's literally that easy. It's not hard at all. You just have to start. Like, starting is always the most difficult thing to do. But once you've like created an image, the most difficult part, honestly speaking, the most difficult part of being the highest version of yourself and like stepping into that reality is actually creating their image. So after chapter number 2, which is creating the image of your higher self, everything else sort of just falls into place. Like, it just happens gradually. Obviously it's going to be slow, but it will happen gradually, and you will see changes. Other people may not see changes in like a day or like a week, but you will start seeing changes as soon as you realize that your new routine aligns with your higher self. And you're going to be like, wow, I really changed, and it's going to be good for you. You're going to love it. And then obviously you should never stop at your highest self. Like, you should aim to be better, and you should aim to work towards that gradually. Okay, as you accomplish one goal, like, if, let's take for example, if you're like waking up at 5 a.m., let's take that for example. If you've accomplished that and now you wake up at 5 a.m. without fail, what you're going to do is you're going to add a new habit after. So like, you've deducted one, you've accomplished one task, and then you're going to take down another like habit at the end of the list that just adds on. So this way you're just constantly going to grow. There's like, you're not going to like break the flow, and you're not going to stop. You're going to grow every time, and it's going to be so fun. Like, think about it. Being in your higher self, how do you feel when you think about being the highest version of yourself? Happy. And why would you not want yourself to be happy? So this was everything that I had for this video. I really hope this helped you, and I really hope this helped you get like a clear image of who you want to be and who you are right now. And I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye bye!